Hello VC, this is Bev here, Clark Vision. This video is going to be a contest entry, just adjusting my screen. This is a contest entry that I wanted to do and I thought I better get it in soon because the deadline is the end of May, which is tomorrow. Now this is for Jason over at Otero85 is his channel. I will leave a link to his contest video in the description below where you can subscribe and view it. You cannot enter if you are not a subscriber. But Jason over at Otero85 is running a contest to celebrate passing 300 subscribers. Congratulations Jason, that's fantastic. I must admit I'm kind of new to your channel. I have been subbed to you for a few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks maybe, so I'm still getting to know you myself. But it was Brendan Van D entered your contest, and that's what brought this particular one to my attention because it's kind of ideal. I'm into the rock and metal, so that fits. And I just wanted to support you in this and just put out some bands for you to maybe have a look at. And I'm just thinking, I forgot to pull out the grail I was going to show, but I can grab it, I'll grab it. In fact, I'll just grab it here. It's here, I'll just sit it there. No, that's for the end. So Jason has asked 3 questions, and his contest is obviously for the 300 subs, but he also is titled it Make Me More Metal. He wants to hear about lots of hard rock and heavy metal bands to hear about, so that he should try and get more into the heavy metal scene, or advice on what he should check out and maybe what he shouldn't, sort of thing. So I thought I would jump on this and just throw in a few of my favourites and non-favourites. So let's get started. Now I hope this is going to be right because I've not got exact albums. Well, I've got 3 for the hate or avoid, if you like, but there's one I wanted to mention which I don't own, but so I can't show it, so I'll just maybe mention it as a side anyway. But first question is, show 3 albums by bands, 3 albums that you love and why. Well, I'm going to show this one first. This is Running Wild and the album Death or Glory. Running Wild are a German power metal / speed metal band. They emerged, they started up very early 80s. I can't remember exactly if it was the late 70s or the early 80s. But they have been around since the early 80s. This album of theirs, Death or Glory, is my personal favourite of theirs. I absolutely love this. It is full of energy, full of pace, full of just great guitars, melodic. For a power metal band, some of the guitars, it's just really a nice blend of melody, harmony, singing over the fast guitars and drums. They do this really well, and I think they were one of the kind of early pioneers of the power metal scene, along with Halloween, another German band that emerged in the 80s. But I've got quite a lot of their albums now, this band. I am fairly new to them myself. I only discovered them about 3 years ago myself. I kind of missed them back in the day. can't believe I missed them back then, because they're really amazing. But so this is the reissue of their 89 album, but it's fantastic. You've got some epic stuff on here. I thoroughly recommend you check them out if you want some fast, high energy power metal, great vocals and just great guitars, just very uplifting and kind of, I don't know, just great, basically. Just check them out, just get it. That's what I would say about that. So next one, album 2 that I love, I'm showing this one, Def Leppard's On Through the Night. Now, I'm assuming you know who Def Leppard are. You must have heard of them, I'm assuming. I don't even know, you may own Hysteria, perhaps, or Pyromania, because they're their two most well-known albums, obviously. So, but On Through the Night doesn't get nearly as much love as it should, in my opinion. This was Def Leppard's debut from 1980. It came out in the new wave of British heavy metal scene and is very heavy metal compared to the likes of Pyromania, Hysteria and onwards. This album and the follow-up High and Dry are definitely the two heaviest, hard-edged, raw, more hard rock sounding album, and there's some great tunes on this. I actually love this entire album. There is 11 songs on it. Love the lot. And I would highly recommend this album if you just want some great guitar, traditional hard rock heavy metal. It's definitely worth checking out, absolutely. So Def Leppard On Through the Night. Plus, my guitar hero, I don't know if you, this is just for your information, my guitar hero was the late Steve Clark from this band, who sadly passed away some years back. But and when he did, Def Leppard have never ever been anywhere near as good. That is my opinion. So it's really the early stuff from Def Leppard that I like, and definitely this. And the third one I absolutely love to pieces. I have been praising this album every opportunity I can. This is Bonfire, Temple of Lies, German heavy metal band again. These guys are more traditional melodic hard rock, melodic metal, with a punchy, chuggy guitar sound. I would describe this entire album as a feel-good album. It would be great for putting on in the car if you're going on a drive somewhere. It'd be great just to sit in the house and listen to, which is what you do anyway, especially with vinyl. But I cannot recommend this enough. This is their latest album, came out last year. They have a new singer. He's not the original. I think they had a couple of singers. The original guy was fantastic. This guy that they've got on this album is absolutely amazing as well. Great vocals, great guitars, just very melodic and uplifting. So, and it's just a fantastic album. I highly recommend Bonfire. They've got a lot of good stuff in their catalogue. Again, they've been around since the 80s as well. So get this. That's the three that I love. Three that I hate, or you would suggest, what I would suggest to avoid. Well, again, this is just personally for me, because who I'm going to mention here, other people obviously like or love. Now, I don't have any actual studio albums of this band, so I'm showing a greatest hits, which I received. And this is Queensryche, and their greatest hits. Now, I don't hate this I am still trying to decide if I like it. You know, I mean, some of the songs on here for me are okay, but they had a big hit towards the end of the 80s. I think it was around about 80 or 90, 89, 90. They had a song called Silent Lucidity, and that's what I remember hearing the most from this band, because it was a very popular track at the time, but I didn't like it. I thought it was very melancholy, kind of sad sort of effect it had, and the singer Jeff T, I wasn't 100% sure that I liked his vocals, the sound of his voice. So for me, if you're getting started, I would suggest to maybe not go for Queensryche right away, but on the other hand, you may hear something of them and absolutely adore it, but I am still trying to work on these guys to see whether I like them. But so that's the first one I'm saying avoid. No specific album in particular, but you know, this album I've had for a while, but I just never listened to it anymore because I just don't like it. This is Alice Cooper, and this is one of his little bit more recent albums. This is 2008. This came out, and it's Along Came a Spider. I think it's kind of a concept style album. But to be honest, there's nothing about it that I like. I mean, Alice Cooper has released some classics over the years. You know, School's Out is one of his early greatest hits, you know, and Elected and all these famous ones. And then in the 80s he had that massive hit with Poison, the sort of ballady type power ballad. And loads of others. He had a lot of great stuff, but this one, as I say, I would suggest you avoid this. It's certainly not one of Alice Cooper's better ones. I think I'm possibly going to, I don't know, pass this on or sell it or something or whatever. But yeah, Along Came a Spider, Alice Cooper, avoid for now. And third one, as I say, again, this band is highly regarded, so it's not that I hate them or anything, it's just not for me. And even if you did want to check these guys out, I would not go for this album first. So this is Megadeth, and it's Countdown to Extinction. Thrash in general is not my cup of tea, to be honest. I find it too depressing, I'll be honest. I have a few Megadeth albums, and I've just recently been sampling them to see what I think, and if it was possible for me to like them. If you go through my channel, you'll see a couple of videos in there somewhere. And out of the albums I have, I think I've got 5 of them. Out of the 5, this one to me was the most depressing, and it just lacked any great interest for me. As I say, but you know, they're a huge band, and they're very popular and they're loved by millions. So, as I say, if you are planning on maybe checking out Megadeth, I would maybe just not go for this one first. I would check out, they do have, in my opinion, and probably some others, better ones out there, but that's nothing. Now the other one I can't show, I was just going to throw in there, is by Def Leppard, who I've mentioned already, but if you fast forward in their career from 1980 through to 1996, they released an album and it was called Slang, and it's the biggest pile of junk I've ever heard by them. Well, actually it's one of the biggest piles of junk. They've, in my opinion again, they've released a few pretty rubbish albums, but again that's just me. I am only really a fan of early Def Leppard, but again, if you're not that familiar with Def Leppard, do not pick up Slang to start off. just didn't go there. It's not one of their better albums. It's certainly different. It's completely different to what they're known for, which is their very melodic, radio-friendly hard rock. And it's certainly a far cry from the great albums that they put out in the 80s. So that's that. And the last question was, show one of your grails. Right, here it is. One grail, and here it is. Now, it's Iron Maiden, and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son from 1988. This is my favourite Iron Maiden album. They're my favourite band, and this album is just great. I pretty much love every song in it. It's just a super album. I mean, Iron Maiden, I'm assuming you'll be aware of the name as well. New wave of British heavy metal, they came out of that group as well and went on to be super successful. Can I Play With Madness was a single released off of this album. The third track it is, and it was released off of this album and got into the UK national charts, and it actually got into the top 10, and that was really the first song I heard that made me sit up and take notice of Iron Maiden, because it had got in the charts, because at that time I was just kind of getting into the rock and metal thing, and the bands I was liking at the time were Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Europe, Poison, one or two others. So Iron Maiden were, for me, a lot heavier at that time, and I kind of thought, at the time, I don't think they're the kind of band that I would like, until I heard Can I Play With Madness. And after that, I started to investigate their music a bit more, and I just went on to love them, basically. So it is utterly essential that in your metal crusade you check out Iron Maiden, and this is a great album to go with. They have umpteen fabulous albums. You'll probably get loads of recommendations from, certainly from the metal community. There's lots of us about. Feel free to give anybody a shout, and I'm sure they'll throw out a recommendation. Ron Haggerty might have shown this in his video. Still to watch it, because I know this is his favourite album of all time. It is one of mine. So yeah, that is a grail of mine. This is the reissue, but I do have an original 1988 pressing as well. And I love this artwork. It's not everybody's favourite Eddie. Eddie's the mascot, obviously, but I just love everything about it. So there we have it. So that is my entry. I hope this is okay for you, and congratulations again, Jason, on your 300 plus subscribers it is now, and I will see you all in another video. Thanks for watching.